I'm thrilled to introduce our guest, an orthodontist practicing in New York who's revolutionizing how we think about dental education and patient care altogether. She brings a unique combination of clinical excellence and digital innovation to the field of orthodontics. It's really cool what she's doing on social media, and I really want to get into that. But what I think really set her apart is how she's bridging the gap between the dental chair and the digital world. Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode. I'm thrilled to introduce our guest, Dr. Sable Staller, an orthodontist practicing in New York who's revolutionizing how we think about dental education and patient care altogether. Dr. Staller brings a unique combination of clinical excellence and digital innovation to the field of orthodontics. It's really cool what she's doing on social media, and I really want to get into that a little bit more. But just a little history. After earning her Bachelor of Science in Biology from the University of Buffalo. Oh no, Buffalo! I didn't even read that.
So
Don't tell me you're a Bills fan though, right?
I'm not. I'm an Eagles fan.
Right. Well, worse anyway. All right, this is going to be a quick one, folks. No, just kidding. Dr. Staller went on to graduate with top academic standing from Indiana University School of Dentistry, where she also completed her specialized orthodontic residency with board level training. But what I think really sets Dr. Staller apart is how she's bridging the gap between the dental chair and the digital world. As you guys, if you listen to my episodes, you know I'm always kind of harping on this, but she's gone out and done it, and I think she's going to be a great example of what, maybe give you guys some ideas of what you can do and how you can get started. So, Dr. Staller, welcome to the show. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and thanks for all the kind words. I appreciate it.
Of course, yes. So, if nobody here is watching or listening has heard of Dr. Staller, go look her up on social media. And she's kind of got the blueprint for how to use, I believe anyway, social media, the digital world to, really help her not only as a business, but just kind of as a brand, as a person. So, Dr. Staller, maybe you could start off by, we've got clients here at KickStart that are a little camera shy, they're a little social media shy, and sometimes it's like pulling teeth. Yes, I said it. Getting them to do social media of any kind. Maybe you could just tell us your experience, how you got started, and just what it's done for you so far.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I really got started. So, I was in orthodontic residency from 2019 to 2021. And so that was like the heart of the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
And so when I was at home while we weren't able to learn and go to school or work, I was seeing, the dentist blow up and all these other doctors on social media. And I'm like, wait, I can be posting too. Like, I'm learning this stuff right now. I can teach people. And I also, in the back of my head, I'm originally from Indiana. I wanted to move to New York City or to a big city. And I know how expensive that is. And I know how hard that is to do. So I think that was always a driving factor for me, where I was like, oh, this is going to be like my digital footprint that I can take with me wherever I go. And why not start it when I'm in residency? Who knows what's going to come of it? Like, no one had any idea what TikTok would become. But I knew it could help me in some way because, with dentistry, there's corporate dentistry. There's so many different routes you can take. But what you can always take with you is like your own personal social media. And so I think that I just like recognized that right away. And it really like inspired me to just start posting at that time and then to just keep posting from there. That's how I ended up here today.
Wow, that's awesome. So I think the takeaway there, folks, is, and it's kind of an aha moment for me, is you're absolutely right. If you're an associate, if you're working for another practice, this is, even if you don't have your own practice, this is a brand you're creating for your own identity, so that if you do go out and buy a practice or start one from scratch, guess what? You've already got some of these marketing assets in place, and it can give you a really quick start. So I think that's amazing that you would think of that and, and be able to leverage that type of an asset.
Yeah.
How much time do you think it takes you on a weekly basis, monthly basis to really fully engage in this stuff and really make it worth your while?
Yeah. Well, I think now I pretty much have it down to a science. I'm always looking for different ways to grow because social media is always changing. It was so different when I started than now. But I feel like I spend like at least 30 minutes a day, if not more, probably more than that, but at least 30 minutes, like every day I'm in the office at least. I'll either film right before I leave for the office or right before my lunch or right before lunch is over. Um, Adding in, like, little bits of time here and there where you can just, like, take content while you're in your scrubs or while you're in your white coat at the office, like, all of that really does add up over time. Just kinda like working out, if you can just do a little bit every day, it really adds up. So, I mean, I probably spend 7 to 10 hours a week, I would say, on social media. Um, like, today is my off day, so I've spent, um, doing this podcast and catching up on all my social media emails, doing other content that maybe I can't do on days that I'm in the office, so stuff like that. So I would say 7 to 10 hours a week is probably where it comes out, depending on how busy I am at the office.
Well, my kids do that like every day, so that's really not that's really not that much. Well, that's cool, but I think I think you're right. Once you get into a routine and you kind of, what you're going to shoot and you know how you're going to shoot it, and you get better at things after you do them longer and you become more efficient. So it doesn't always have to be like you're learning it for the first time and trying to figure out how to do all this stuff. So, so maybe it's not, an overwhelming task for a lot of people. Um, Maybe you could tell us a little bit about how you think this has benefited your practice, and how can other dental and ortho practices realistically start doing this without it becoming overwhelming for them?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can't express enough how important social media is. I feel like even I keep track of all the patients I get from social media, just to so I can see for myself for the office and everything. And like in January alone, I had over 15 people from TikTok come to my office.
Are you kidding me?
And like that's a crazy number.
Are you running paid ads with that at all, or is that all organic?
No, it was all organic.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I didn't run one ad in January.
That's insane.
Yeah. So, and I make sure too, because I want to make sure I'm like, because sometimes it is from a Google ad or other things.
Yeah.
But those were all specifically like from my personal TikTok. And like, I think that that is like crazy. And I don't think people believe it when they hear it.
Yeah.
And like when I talk to a lot of people in marketing or, people that have been in dental marketing for a long time, like it is really hard to track things with TikTok, especially
Mm.
the reach you're getting and if patients are actually coming from it. But like if you just believe in it and post in it, people really do come and they really do see your videos. And I mean, it has grown. So I started at my office in April and our practice has like tripled what it was doing. And it's most of it is from like social media and just like getting the office out there, showing
Yeah.
people what the office looks like. Like that is a big one because think about like anytime you go to the doctor, everyone's a little nervous, like, oh, I've never been here. What's it like? What's it look like? Who's gonna like help me when I get there? And so just yeah, yeah, like what are they gonna do to me? And so like being able to show people that online is I think it really does like make people less scared and like want to come see you because they've already seen it. They've already been there
Yeah.
online. And so it really helps people like get them in the door.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wow. That's amazing. With this comes a little bit of a responsibility, I'm sure, but with social media, how can you be sure that, you know, you educate your market, I guess is a good way to put it, with your videos and social media postings, but it could be easy to misconstrue, not yours, but any posts as maybe misleading or over promising, these perfect smiles, things like that. I've seen it all the time with some of these practices. How do you kind of avoid that or make sure you're kind of checking yourself and making sure that all the information that you're posting is legit? We got HIPAA things to worry about sometimes. So making sure like patient information isn't shown in videos, things like that. Are these all things that are going through your mind when you do these?
Yeah, for sure. Like even if I'm sitting in my office and I'm filming something, I look around real quick before and I'm like, what patient name is like, do I need to slip anything over the computer screen? All of that. I think that just comes very second nature anyways to us because of that, like HIPAA wise. So that's usually an easy thing to avoid. I don't tend to post a lot of my own patients. Um, I also like, you asked a few questions there, so I'll
Yeah, sir.
on, but no, it's okay. There's a lot to unpack, but I don't want people to find me online and then feel like they have to say yes to me, like posting them, because
Yeah.
they found me online. So I tend to avoid posting like my own patients. If I want to talk about anything, I'll just find a photo online that's on Google. And I don't have to worry about it. So like you don't have to post your own patients. Or if you saw something like an impacted canine you want to talk about, you can just Google impacted canine and then show a video online with that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I avoid any of that is I just don't I tend to stay away unless I have a form written out and I ask them, but I don't do a ton of that. And then as far as what was the other question you had? I wanted to
I think
sure.
just, I think you covered most of it. I just, I've seen I've seen some of these practices. Usually it's the bigger corporate practices that post like, implants, things like that. And it's just like, it gives this image of somebody with just like perfect smiles every time
Yeah.
and it's cheap and it's, and I think sometimes that can be misleading. So like, I think what you're doing, is all kind of homegrown to the roots, great content that's probably going to avoid a lot of that, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I agree. I would actually say that that is like the number one barrier that I think makes dentists and doctors like scared to post because like we all went to dental school. If you went to residency, you always had that classmate that was like, well, what about this? What about this? Like every scenario is so different for every patient too that like social media is hard and you have to get your point across and you have to speak in like absolutes to a sense,
Yeah.
but everyone knows there's always like, oh, that one patient where that won't work or this patient where that won't work. um so there's always it's just like finding the right in between of like not over promising
Yeah.
but still getting the point across, which I think stops a lot of dentists because when you talk about like an open bite, like there are so many ways to treat an open bite. Some you can treat with Invisalign, some you have to do surgery, some you could do like a mix. And it's like you have to get over the fact that there there are so many options and just give like a general idea or just a statement at the end like everyone's different though. So like this could not be the case for you.
Yeah.
But I think it stops a lot of dentists because they don't want to come off scammy and like over
Right. Right.
yeah.
Yeah. What's one of your best performing videos you've done? What was the content like?
Um, oh gosh. I've had a lot. I would say a lot of my videos that have done well are like reaction videos to people that have posted online. So something about like their tooth or like something crazy about their tooth and then it pans to me explaining what it is. People really like that. And so I think I have one going viral right now of like a guy trying to move his tooth with a rubber band or something and like no braces. But those I would say that style for me, especially on TikTok, has, like, done the best for sure.
What platform has worked best for you? Is it TikTok overall?
Yeah, definitely TikTok. I'm trying to grow more on Instagram right now. The
Uh,
audiences are just so different, and what does well on TikTok is also not what does well on Instagram. So just trying to find the right balance. But, like, TikTok is always my, like, bread and butter, I would say. So like anyone wanting to post on social media, it's overwhelming. So picking your favorite app that you want to post on is like the first it's the first place to start. Once you find that, you post on there and then you can repurpose your content wherever you feel like it. Um but don't get like overwhelmed, I would say, by all the options. I like mainly focus on TikTok and then from there I disperse my content elsewhere.
that's cool. Do you use like a scheduling tool at all, or do you manually schedule like all of your posts and videos?
Yeah, I just schedule them within TikTok.
Oh, okay, within this platform. Okay.
Yeah, honestly, I would like to be that organized, but I don't feel like I'm that for I just don't feel like I have enough time to be that organized, so a lot of it's kind of on the fly.
And,
But I do use oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
I use something called Repurpose. It repurposes all my content for me automatically. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay. Yeah, I love Repurpose. So, like for me, I love TikTok, so everything goes to TikTok.
Yep.
And then Repurpose, what it does on the back end is I have a monthly subscription, so it does this. It immediately posts it to Instagram trial reels.
Hmm.
And and then it immediately posts it to my YouTube, immediately saves it to a Google Drive, immediately posts it to Facebook, does like a bunch of stuff for me.
Yeah,
So
we do that too. Jen, who I think you met, who set up this meeting, we use HubSpot for that. But there's a lot of tools that you Descript's another one. Even what I'm on right now, Riverside is now has its own kind of. It'll make clips and highlights and things like that. So a lot of these tools are really starting to come around to that, which I think just makes it easier for everybody to be able to use different kinds of tools. So that's
yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
What do you think? I have a lot of clients actually. When I talk to them about social media, they kind of roll their eyes. And obviously you're younger. I've got some older clients as well, and those are usually the ones that roll their eyes a little bit. But do you think that patients actually look at social media profiles of practices and the dentists before they inquire about hiring that practice, if you will?
Yeah. So yes and no. I think it really depends on the age demographic of the patient.
Sure.
Um, and like when I answer this question, I think about myself. So when I go to look for a doctor, I usually go on TikTok first,
Mm,
and then I go look at their Instagram to verify that they're legit. And then I go look at their office on Instagram. And then I'll finally end up on Google looking at their
yeah.
office. And I know, so I'm a millennial, I'm 32. I know a lot of people younger than me, that's also how they look for doctors.
Yeah.
But I also know that like millennials and older, that's also not how they look for doctors. Everyone is a little bit different, but I do think that that's how people find their doctors if you're 30 and under. Um, Now, I don't think that's how my mom finds a doctor. No. She just takes the recommendation and calls them and goes with it. But I do think that that is how people like look for doctors and healthcare providers now these days.
I think it's certainly part of it. I know my mom. She's let's see, 70 something. Hopefully, she's not watching this, but uh, she now uses the internet to find doctors and providers. She looks at reviews. She looks at the website. I don't think TikTok, but I think that this is a big aha moment again. I think for all of you that have asked me about, I've got an older patient base. I really want to try to get a younger patient base, Chris. How can I do that? I think you're learning it right now. You get involved in social media, and you do the things that we're talking about today. I think that could be a great way to go down and get that market. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, because you're just how I described, like, that's how patients my age and younger are gonna find
Oh,
you.
yeah.
And I will say, like, there's another aspect to it that I don't think that medical and dental professionals realize until you start posting is once you start posting, you also become friends and colleagues with all the other doctors posting online.
Yeah.
And what that does is it opens up your network for referrals, for friendships, for growth in your career. And it doesn't just open you up to new patients. Like I actually feel like the even more benefit you get is other dentists becoming aware of you or other specialists, depending on like who you are, and your network grows and you're not stuck in this like bubble, especially if you are older and you're trying to grow and things like that. You're meeting new dentists, you're meeting new specialists online, and like that can like work for you in so many different ways.
Yeah. And I think, when people are using social media to find you and they're consuming your content, they're less of their, arms folded, like when they're guarded and they're calling and like, all right, what new patient special do you have? It's almost like a sense that they know you already because they've seen so much of your video. It's almost like a referral. So I think in some ways it builds trust. And by the time they call into your front desk, maybe they're just a little less guarded and a little bit easier to get over that hump to get them scheduled. Have you done any experience? Do you have any experience using social media to help with like cancellations or just building trust overall? Anything like that?
Um, Not really with cancellations, no. Do you mean like sending videos to patients like ahead of time?
Maybe. I don't know what I'm asking, but I know that a big problem, not necessarily in orthodontic, but in general dentistry are cancellations right now. They get a lot of people that, will book online, for instance, or they'll even call and then not show up. And I'm just trying to kind of spitball how we could use social media and video maybe to bridge that gap and get those less cancellations. So I was just curious if maybe you had ever done anything along those lines.
Yeah, I will say so, at my office now, they used to have a lot of people that would schedule online like that and then not
Yeah.
come.
Yeah.
But the social media patients, like, all come. So I actually do think it has lowered our new patient cancellation rate, because just like you said, they feel like they know you, they don't wanna let you down. If they do cancel, they're rescheduling, it's just, like, maybe a scheduling error for them.
Yeah.
Um I do think that it lowers your new patient cancellation rate because again, you've kind of already they've met
Yeah.
you, you met them, but so they feel like a little bit of an obligation or they see your video and they do come to that second appointment again, you know? So
Yeah.
I definitely think it helps with that for sure.
Yeah, I think I agree. We have one client that'll actually send their social media links on an appointment
Yeah.
verification email, so they can join them, and they think it gives them a better likelihood of those being long term patients. So, I totally get that. Um, have you ever had a patient come in and want to be on one of your reels or what on some of your content because they've seen what you've done?
I feel like some do, yeah. Honestly, I think people get a little shy.
Yeah.
Like they'll bring it up, but then they get like a little shy, like to ask. So I have done a few reels with patients, but not like a ton. But they're always like they will bring up like, oh, I saw your video on this, and then like talk about it. I actually really like social media patients are amazing because they like really care about you and are like happy to be there.
Yeah.
Um, and it's nice. I feel like you really get to develop like a relationship with your patient more than maybe you would just because they again, it is a little weird because they know you. But it makes it more fun and more personable.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. All right. Well, cool. We're gonna wrap up here in a few minutes. Um, But what if somebody I mean, would you mind if somebody reached out to you with questions? And, what's a good way to maybe reach out to you that if somebody was curious about, how to get social media going for their practice? What's a good way to reach out to you?
Yeah, absolutely. You can either email me, which is linked in my Instagram bio or TikTok bio, and I'm sure you'll have it linked
Yeah.
there. Email me, or you can message me on Instagram. I'll usually see that very quickly too. So if you just want to message me there, I'm happy to help. But yeah, I just there's so much space for everyone, and everyone to have their own niche and get patients and like like fully believe in social media to just
You're
improve
making it
if overall. Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. Those numbers are amazing, and it just shows you the power of, if you really stick to something, what you can do with it. It's not like you do one video, everybody, and all of a sudden you've got 50 new patients. You've got to build it up and give it some time to breathe. But that's amazing. And I don't think
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you'll disagree, but I don't think you've got to be the dancing dentist like on TikTok, dancing all over the place. And it looks like most of your content is like educational, informational, really just helping people feel more comfortable about whether it's going to you or any dentist or orthodontist. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I, like, don't dance. Maybe a dance once a quarter,
Yeah.
but, like, that's not my thing. I just like to talk about teeth. Sometimes I'll do, like, a day in my life so people get to know me more. But you absolutely do not have to dance.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's fun to watch some of those, but I can't imagine that's going to bring in real engaging patients for you. But anyway, what do I know?
It's I think, like, it gets the kids. I will say this is my one tip if, like, you are scared to start is, an easy thing is to just have, like, your office manager or front desk just, like, walk in holding the camera and be like, "Doctor so and so, what are you looking forward to for today?" And then
Uh,
you just answer, and then you just post that. And, like, what a great segue to start posting.
that-
Um yeah, because you get to know the doctor. It looks like you're working because you're probably sitting at your desk or, and you get to see, like, the environment of the office. There's so many things that, like, cue people to be intrigued by that. I feel like it's just such an easy way to start filming.
that's a great. And are you using like an official, like professional video setup when you do these, or are you using your phone or both?
No, I truly, like I have all the fancy stuff and I don't have I truly feel like I don't have time to use it. I just use my phone and maybe a ring light or maybe the window behind my phone here and there.
Yeah.
And you don't need a fancy ring light. You could get one that like clips onto your phone. I love an Octo Buddy. This is like suction cups to a window or things.
Yeah.
So, or like a cabinet in a dental office. So that's actually really helpful if you want to like stand something, like put your phone somewhere to get an Octo Buddy.
That's a great idea. That's a great tip. And are you using the audio just from the phone as well?
Yeah.
Oh.
Get ours. But
Yeah. You see all you doctors out there that tell me, "Oh, I don't have a good setup. All I've got is an iPhone 25 or whatever it is." These phones are amazing cameras. They really are. Don't underestimate what you can do with these, and don't feel as though you have to have a professional come do these videos. It's just not necessary, and in my opinion, it comes across much better if you just are kind of winging it, So let that be a lesson.
absolutely.
Awesome. Well, Dr. Staller, thank you so much for taking your time and sharing your expertise and insights with us. I know this is going to be a hot episode because everybody wants to learn about social media. And once they hear that, the amount of patience that you're able to bring in, that's very cool. So for everyone listening, if you want to learn more about Dr. Staller, please click all the links down below. Reach out to her. I'm sure she'd be more than happy to give you some advice here and there. She's out everywhere, TikTok, YouTube, all over the place. So you should not have any problem at all to find her. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in today's episode. And don't forget to subscribe. Leave me a review, as long as it's a good one, and share this episode with anyone who might benefit from this type of incredible knowledge that Dr. Staller brought us. And until next time, we'll see you very soon. Thanks, Dr. Staller.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Dental Marketing Podcast. Make sure to visit our website, www.kickstartdental.com/podcast, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Spotify, or via RSS, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in the show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. If you are ready to grow your practice, then you might want to schedule a free strategy session with us. Just go to kickstartdental.com and click the free strategy session button and give us 15 minutes of your time to change your practice forever. Be sure to tune in next week for our next episode. And thanks for listening to the Dental Marketing Podcast by KickStart Dental Marketing, where dentists go to win online.